Columbus, Ohio experienced its third deadliest year in the city's history, with all of the top 3 years coming since 2020. In 2020, Columbus saw 175 homicides, setting a new record that was broken again a year later in 2021 when the city reported 205 homicides. 2022 experienced 140, and 2023 came back with 146, making 2023 the third deadliest year in Columbus's history. Columbus has seen a decline in homicides since the record-breaking 205 in 2021, but still sits far above the 105 the city saw in 2019, before the Summer of Love 2020. So although the city has seen a 29% decrease since 2021, it is still at a 39% increase over 2019. The rise in homicides across the city can be linked to a large increase in domestic violence homicides. In 2022, the city reported 7 homicides related to domestic violence, and that number increased to 25 in 2023, a 257% increase. The 25 domestic violence homicides were 9 higher than the 16 homicides related to gang activity. Additional 2023 statistics related to homicides are 85% were committed with a gun. Police made an arrest or identified a suspect in 73% of the homicides, much higher than the 50% average seen across America. 70% of the victims were black and 23% white. 75% of the suspects were black and 17% white. So 100 victims were black and 111 of the suspects were black. 29% of the population in Columbus is black, so Columbus is a city that homicides are disproportional to blacks, both victims and suspects. 25% of the victims were under the age of 21, and 41% of the suspects were under the age of 21. 38% were committed between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., and 40% of the homicides occurred on a Saturday or Sunday. The murder rates for the last 5 years were 16.1 in 2023, 15.4 in 2022, 22.6 in 2021, 19.3 in 2020, and 11.7 in 2019. That's per 100,000 people. And for some perspective, the 22.6 in 2021 is the same as Chicago in 2023. Columbus is the 14th largest city in America, with a population of nearly 908,000 people that has been steadily rising since the mid-1800s. The growth has slowed since 2020, but is still increasing every year. Compared to other cities of similar size, Columbus is safer than Fort Worth, San Francisco, Charlotte, and considerably safer than a city like Indianapolis. Columbus is a growing city that in many ways can absorb the high crime numbers and still have relatively good overall crime stats. And if they can get back to pre-2020 numbers, would be a great city to move to. But a sure sign of a city's future is to look at the schools. 40% of the students graduate proficient in reading and math. Ohio, as a state, that percentage is 61%, and nationally it's 48%. 85% of the residents in Columbus have a high school diploma. So if only 40% of the students graduating high school can read and do math at grade level, that leaves 60% of the only 85% that do graduate leaving school without the skills to land a good job, which could lead to higher crime going forward. To sum things up, crime in Columbus is higher than the national average. You have a 1 in 26 chance of becoming a victim of a crime in Columbus, and year over year, crime in Columbus is showing a 3% increase. Columbus was better in 2023 than where it was 2 years prior in 2021, but still much worse than where it was pre-2020.